Let's get some perspective from CBS women's college basketball analyst Julianne Viane. And boy, this one, Julianne, is a game that UConn kept trying to chip away to get back into it. They fell behind 13-2 early. They were down 22-8 after the first quarter. Got it to within 7 on one occasion in the second half. But this is the 47th straight game for South Carolina, holding an opponent under their season average. The Huskies were averaging 75 a game. What can you say about the defensive effort from South Carolina?
They were just stifling UConn. They were bigger, faster, stronger. They had all that length in the world. And if they weren't a long player, they were a faster player using their speed. And to me, South Carolina was just from the get-go in absolute attack mode, and not just defensively either, on offense too. Their defense led to the offense. UConn just kept turning the ball over, just uncharacteristically. Actually, the last two games have really turned the ball over a lot. I mean, but what a performance by South Carolina, holding Kristen Williams, a senior, to 0 points here tonight. Az Fudd didn't even do anything either. I know she was coming off an illness, but wow, what a performance.
You know, when you look at this game, you could tell that Destiny Henderson's chore was to chase around Paige Bueckers, and she was stifling all over the place, following her all over the court. But on top of that, she scores a career-high 26 points. Characterize her performance in the biggest game of the season.
The little engine that could. I mean, I think a little more than that. I mean, she was legit their engine on the offensive end of the floor, on the defensive end of the floor. She performed at her peak level in the biggest game of her life. And, you know, she was able to really create off the dribble tonight. She caused Paige Bueckers to have to work for every single shot she took. And Paige made some shots. She made some tough ones, but she was forcing her left, which was the game plan all along. And Paige might have made some, but boy, did they limit her. And Destiny Henderson was just, she was a lot of fun to watch today.
Yeah, big sequence in the fourth quarter when UConn got it down to 7. It was Henderson scoring on a bucket. Then they got a block from Boston that led to another spring out. She had 2 straight baskets. Henderson expanded that lead to 11. You know, we touched on the fact that Boston, 11 points, 16 rebounds. UConn had to feel kind of decent about the way they kind of contained her, if you will. But what can you say about the job that Dawn Staley has done with this South Carolina program? From beginning to end, they were tops in the nation.
Yeah, you can't say more. I mean, there's nothing more I can say over Dawn. I mean, she's just been incredible. The fact that she has just been able to be so dominant of a coach and to get the most out of her players and to cause them to play hard every single night. I think that's what's been most impressive, that their defense never let up, not even for 1 second. And they hunted down rebounds tonight. They got second and third chance opportunities. And that's what creates a winning team. It's those little things, those extra possessions, those second and third chance opportunities. That's the kind of mentality that she has instilled in her team. And it reminds me a lot of the way that UConn's teams have played over the years. I don't think that UConn's team was as good this year or as talented. And unfortunately, they were injured most of the season. So they had a really hard year in that regard. But yeah, I mean, I can't say enough about Coach Staley and what she's done. I mean, I kind of think of her as like the new guard, a new up and coming coach. Not that she's a new person on the landscape, but you know, you think about it, she's 50 years old. She's got another 15 to 20 years in her to really do this. And, you know, Geno Auriemma, he's probably near the end of his career. So, I mean, she has just been incredible. She's getting the recruits and she's getting them to play her style. And it's a relentless type of style. She's getting a lot of size and talent and athleticism. So very impressed with what she's been able to get out of her players.
Yeah, one last one for you real quick. With regards to Geno and UConn, they had the injuries, got Bueckers back late in the season. Safe to say he got the most out of this team considering where they were in terms of the run they made at the end of the season?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that I had a few of their games in the regular season, and you know, in talking to Coach Auriemma, you know, he was almost surprised they got this far, and the fact they got Bueckers back was the reason why they were able to get this far in the game. But I think to set it was the hardest year that they've ever experienced as a program in terms of the injuries. And remember they just lost the starter in the Elite Eight as well. So it was just the worst kind of luck for them this year. So I think if you are Geno, and you know all of the turmoil that they've been through as a program, as a team, you are kind of happy with how far you went, because you were not supposed to get this far, especially when you go back. They had 9 different starting rotations throughout the season. It was pretty tough this year for UConn, and they made it to the championship.
Yeah,
So.
they haven't won a national championship since 2016. This for South Carolina, their first title since 2017, Julianne. Do you like the state women's college basketball is in right now with regards to parity, and a lot of teams have shots at winning the title?
I do. I think it's getting better in that regard, because you've seen some different teams over the last few years make a run and get to the national title. We saw Stanford do it last year. We've seen Oregon come up in the Pac-12 and get it done, or we haven't seen a lot of Pac-12. That's 2 different Pac-12 teams, actually, that have really elevated their game and gone far. And I do think that that's good for the game. Is if one team is always winning all the time, then I think it bores people, to be quite frank. And UConn was doing it, and every single year they were getting there. And they're still going to be that type of team. Like, people go to UConn to compete for a national championship. That is why they go there. There's a lot of pressure on the program to get to a Final Four and to get to a national championship every year. But yeah, the fact that other teams are doing it, and you've got South Carolina now slipping in there and making noise, that's more exciting for the game. That means other teams are elevating their level to get to the UConn level, and they're getting good recruits and then beating up on each other, and that's good. That's good for the game.
Yeah, the rest of the country is caught up to Geno and the Huskies. Again, haven't won a title since 2016. This is the second under Dawn Staley for South Carolina. She's Julianne Viane, college basketball analyst for CBS. Julianne, we appreciate the insight.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, and what a terrific game. Thank you.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.